Hey friends, how are you? Did you just see me squinting over in the corner? There's like a go live button. And I'm like, go live, go live, go live. And it's not picking it up. And sometimes that's one of my complaints about the Apple mouse is it's really touchy on what it picks up. Anyway, how are you today? I've been sitting here for a few minutes getting ready to go live. And I'm looking at my fingernails and they're filled with dirt. And they're filled with dirt because, well, do any of you garden? And do you know, like when your hands get dirty with garden dirt, like no matter how many times you wash them and scrub them, like, and you come back like 15 minutes later and there's dirt there again, it's just like it's like dug in dirt. And so I'm just picking at them and I'm thinking about the garden. You know, this morning I was at home and I was like, maybe I should video from the garden and show that we have a garden and we finally put our garden in. But I want to tell you the real story about the garden this year. And it has to do with, and actually, I'm going to back it up. Let's start with the dog, the puppy that we've all grown to love, Oakley. Actually, Oakley's been lovable from the beginning. However, when our last dog died, I said, no more dogs right now. Like we need to get other things in order. You know, our house after 30 years is still not done. We built it ourselves. We moved in right away. There's still things that are incomplete. I'm like, let's get stuff done. Let's be finishers. Let's work toward that North Star, like our big why, and stop getting distracted by things like a puppy. So my husband's on board. We are not getting a puppy. We're waiting. Our children are like completely opposed to our idea of no puppy. They want another puppy in the house. Now, mind you, none of them actually live with us. One is in college. One has an apartment in Wareham. One has shares a house in New Bedford. So they're all local right now, like this second in time. But none of them, in fact, you know, put all of their stuff at our house. So anyway, so I'm like, no puppy. And then my husband starts sending me pictures of puppies. And I'm like, ugh. All right, is it only me who doesn't want the puppy? And again, it's not that I love the puppy and I love dogs and we've always had a dog, but I felt like after we've had so many dogs and so many issues and ultimately, you know, a lot of that medical stuff is hard, you know, it's hard to take and it's hard to, you know, anyway. So he sends me this puppy and my daughter Mariah is off and we get in the car and we drive to Connecticut to get a puppy. So that puppy comes home, and you guys have been with me, you know this puppy comes home. This puppy has parvo, which is a puppy disease that kills dogs. Okay, so quickly, even though you love that dog because it's so cute, you're thinking to yourself, I just paid X amount of dollars for this dog. Definitely the most that we've ever paid for a dog. These pandemic puppies, man, they cleaned house. Paid this money, and now our dog is in the hospital, and they're fighting for her life. Okay. Luckily, she made it. She got out. We got her stronger. We had our other vet, Tina, who does the herbs. We have all the herbs to heal her little stomach, her intestines, and she gets hookworms. Oh, she had hookworms. We don't know which, but she has worms. So again, back to treatment for the worms and yada, yada, yada. So anyways, Oakley is a love. She is also really rambunctious. And Oakley, if you put a plant outside, because we did some pre-planting this year, you never know, like she's good. Next thing you know, she's tipped them all over and chewed them all. Or she jumps into the little herb garden we have and plays there, right? She's such a puppy. So I'm like, oh, and I'm looking at, and I love Oakley. Now, I mean, we all are like completely in love with Oakley. So I said, Danny, my husband, and we have a big garden, right? So it's in our field that used to have our horses in it. It's a big garden. And I said to him, I said, I think that we should skip doing a vegetable garden this year, fruit and vegetable, really. And I just, you know, we don't have time. Oakley's going to break our hearts. We're going to be mad at Oakley because of all our hard work. And she's going to get in. And she's a jumper. Like she can jump over a couch onto you from behind, right? When she wants to. And again, not all the time. She just totally shocks you when she does it. So I said, so let's skip the vegetable garden. And if we want a garden, let's plant sunflower seeds. So it'll be like our happy garden. And if Oakley chews on them, then it's not a big deal, but it will be our happy garden, right? So he says, okay, sure. And so we made a decision, just like we did about taking some time from that puppy. And now somebody, and gratefully, right, very nice offer, says, hey, I have a like extra starts, like, so they're already started plants of a whole bunch of vegetables. You guys want them? Dan's like, hey, we got all these vegetables. Let's do a garden. I'm like, sure, that's a great idea. Right. So no puppy, no puppy, no puppy, puppy. Right. Because one really cute one showed up in his Craigslist feed. Okay. Now, fast forward 6 months. Right. So now, by the way, that puppy's getting ready to go in heat. We're really good. We are terrible parents of a puppy in heat. All right. So now we have a garden. No garden, no garden, no garden. Actually, no garden, no garden, sunflower garden to make me happy with my sunshine, right? No garden, sunflower garden, full on vegetable garden. Okay. Dirty fingernails, in charge of mulching, making sure there's no weeds. I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Like, I knew what I wanted. I did. I knew what I wanted. But then I started thinking, oh, fresh vegetables. Actually, I didn't even think of that. I'm like, Danny must want it if he's asking me. So I will do it. Just like with a dog, right? Now Danny's grouchy, and he's grouchy because he's like, I never wanted this garden. I'm like, then why did you send me that message, right? Anyway, so I want to bring this back to our job and in our profession, because our profession is loaded with Oakley and garden style decisions to make every single day. And so with our actions, what we do is we jump on board because it sounds like a good idea. Okay. Oh, you want me to go take that class? That's 5 days, but it's a really good idea. It's a good idea. I'll do it. Sure. I'm away from my business. I'm away from my North Star, right? Oh, you want me to go blah, 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 and help you with that? Sure, that's a great idea. Let's do it. You want me to go and do the fair with you? Great, that's a great idea. Let's do it. Whatever it is. You want me to join Zillow at $2,000 a month? Oh, yeah, I'll do that. That's just one transaction. Yeah, let's do it, right? We make all these decisions that sound like a good idea at the time that are not something that was part of our plan. And what we don't do is think about every minute, okay? Every minute that, and again, there's so many minutes like this. Every minute that I have to do clean up, like the garden, the plants that Oakley chewed, the pick up the socks that she chewed, pick up the whatever it is that she's gotten into. Every minute that I have to do Oakley stuff is taking me away from my North Star. All right. I love Oakley, and I don't, she's not the issue. I'm the issue. Right now it's back to the garden. Every minute that I'm going to have to mulch, weed, and work in that garden is taking me away from what I want to be doing, right? Which in this case might be finishing our house. Whatever it is, like we have paddle boards. We haven't gotten out paddleboarding barely at all because we have all these other distractions. And I love the distractions. That's not the point. The point is that was not what I wanted, right? And it was a good idea at the time. And so I said, sure. Okay. Does that happen to you? And are you involved in things because somebody asked you and you said sure, and it's not your North Star, and it's taking 5-10 hours a week. That you feel committed to do things for it, and it was never what you wanted to do in the first place. Okay? So what do we got to do? All of us yes people. We have to start being selective and find a nice way to say no thank you and stick to it. Okay? I'm great at saying now, and of course, when you set the stage for your no's, but you waver, now it's all back to like all the junk comes in, like bad idea, good idea. I'm a bad person. I'm a stupid person. Right? Whatever it is. So my recommendation, and again, we're at a pivot point, right? We're in the middle of the year. We see what our 6 months got us to here. We see where our 6 months are going. We're already thinking 2022 for laying the groundwork of our foundation of creating that deliberate, mindful profession that we want. Okay, or life, I should say, because part of it's profession and part of it's your time off. Both are so important. So where are you? Are you saying, yes, that sounds like a good idea, and then regretting that you did? Again, nothing against Oakley. She's awesome. It's me that made the decision. And it's me who's like torn because I want to be a good dog parent. And I want to, like whatever. There's so many stories, so many stories that I'm sitting there going like, how did I get here? Right? What did I say yes to that I wanted to say no to, but I said yes anyways? And now I'm going to live with that decision for probably 10 or 15 years for a dog, right? And for the garden, just a few months. And, we could overgrow our garden. It's not like, these are all good things, but they were not the things on my path. They were not the things that I cultivated for what I wanted. Okay. And again, a lot of times that little bolt of inspiration comes and it is a good idea and it is on your path and it might be something that enriches everything. But these were distractions. Okay. And I feel like every good decision needs a really good shakedown. So maybe you need a friend, an accountability partner that when this happens, you can call them and they can be your no person and they can say, no. Anyway, what about you? What have you done like this? Here, let me throw my glasses and see who's here. So Heather just said, how this resonates with me is crazy. I know, Heather, because it's crazy with me too. And, again, our desire to please people, our desire to be the person that says yes, to make things better, to remove maybe the loneliness or the, I don't know. You get my point. I'm going on. I see that I'm on for way too long. These are supposed to be 5 minutes long. So have an amazing day. Heather and a few other of you, I'm going to send you login information, hopefully that we can do the book club tomorrow. I will reach out personally and talk about that because isn't that a good idea? All right. Have an amazing day, my friends. Bye-bye.